guess I'm going back to bingo. I need my Requiem. My Resident Evil Requiem.
Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Hope you have a nice day so far. Today we'll be talking about a game that I've been anticipating for a while, and as you can probably tell from the title, it's Resident Evil 9 Requiem. It's going to be a quick initial spoiler-free review where I'm going to share a few of my thoughts, a few of my feelings, only having played the first few hours of the game. We're going to break it down to 5 main aspects: story, gameplay, graphics, performances, and finally fun. So let's start with the story. Obviously I can't say too much here, 1 because I haven't finished the game, and 2 because this is a spoiler-free review, but what I can say is that so far it's pretty damn good. This feels like a more grounded human Resident Evil game, with less of the surreality of 7 or 8 and the camp of 5 or 6. I mean, don't get me wrong, both are still present, the 2 different aspects largely shown through the 2 very different protagonists, Grace offering the more traditional terrifying survivalist adventure, and Leon the tired tough guy action hero, but with a more realistic feel. If there's one word that defines this game so far, I think it would be balance. Which brings me on to my next point, the gameplay. We experience the world of Resident Evil, this time around from 2 totally different perspectives, one a yellow-bellied FBI agent and the other a seasoned BOW hunter. And you can tell that they pretty much nailed it. Grace's sections are actually terrifying and Leon's are really fun, and while typically I'm not a huge horror fan, tending to lean more towards the later side of Resident Evil games, here I think I found myself enjoying both sections equally. Unlike Leon, Grace can't just blast and roundhouse her way through the zombies. She's weaker, she has a lot less to work with, and most importantly, she's scared. This game does a great job of portraying just how differently the same thing can be perceived. This is heightened by the game suggesting you play Grace in first person and Leon in third. However, I've tested both and I found Grace's to be much more enjoyable in third person. And not just because first person was too scary, but that too. As Leon you feel invincible, but as Grace you genuinely scared poopless, for lack of a better word. The limited resources and limited inventory space actually force you to use your brain, finding clever ways to get around zombies rather than just through them. Stealth is also pretty key as Grace. This is a lot harder in first person mode due to the lack of awareness, but still works pretty well. My only criticism being that stealth takedowns are consumable. You only get a very limited amount, which I think kinda sucks. As for the other typical Resident Evil stuff, the puzzles are great as always, and yes, I got stuck in the first 20 minutes of the game on the first puzzle, but anyway. The combat is also pretty fun. If I had to liken it to any other game in the series, I would have to say the 2 remake for Grace's sections and the 4 remake for Leon's. With Leon's combat feeling as powerful, awesome and slick as maybe it's ever been, but for the degrading melee weapons, which is pretty much one of the only constants I don't really like in this new remake series. However, from spinning chainsaw enemies in half to kicking them into next week, Leon's combat feels pretty good. Fluid, powerful, and weighty, as I think it should be. Now let's talk about the graphics. The game runs a smooth 60 FPS and upscaled 1440p, so I have noticed a little bit of texture pop-ins, but for the most part the game looks pretty beautiful. Especially the environments. I mean, just take a look at the city here. The character models look pretty good too, although an issue that I always have with the new RE engine is the loss of art style. I had this problem with Devil May Cry 5 too. Well, yeah, it does look good. My argument is that it detracts from what makes games special, like the iconic look of Resident Evil 4 or Devil May Cry 3. These games are timeless. Not because the graphics are amazing, but because of the cool, unique art style that I think is being lost by games trying to be as graphically advanced as possible, and in the process losing a bit of their charm. But overall I would say that the graphics are good and offer a very immersive experience nonetheless. Performances here are also pretty solid all around, from a convincing villain to the monsters sounding monstrous. Grace is awesome, I mean not in the typical sense, but you really get to feel for the character. Even in the opening hour or so of the game, I mean seriously, one scene early on, it gave me the shivers. She's pretty damn good. Nick also does a decent job of playing an older Leon, whilst not quite Mercer. I still feel his performance is convincing enough for me to feel that he is Leon, something that I couldn't really do in the Resident Evil 4 remake. I do think though that his performance flows nicely with the remake style Leon that we've been given, offering a consistent, smooth growth from rocky cop to tired BOW hunter. But with all of that out of the way, we can get to the most important question. Is it fun? And I can confidently say, hell yeah. It takes the best aspects from pretty much every prior entry and mixes them together and creates what may not be my favourite Resident Evil, but may well prove to be the best definitive Resident Evil. There's something here for everyone, and I can guarantee that if you have played and liked at least one Resident Evil in the past, you will at least enjoy this one. Anyway, I hope you found this useful or at least enjoyed it, and if you do want me to return in less than 2 years this time, and hopefully something a bit more fun or funny than just a review, be sure to give us a like or a comment or even a subscription would be greatly appreciated. But for now, thank you, and I'll see you next time.